everyone, and welcome back to Talk Wordy, my hub for all of the words that I read, write, or otherwise want to yap about. Today, we have a very special author guest on the pod. I am particularly excited about this one. She is the USA Today bestselling author of The Lodge and the Reunion, and she also has 2 young adult novels, The Sandcastle Empire and This Splintered Silence. Her new book, The Great Outdoors, releases June 16th with Atria. Please welcome Kayla Olson.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
This is a personal pleasure of mine because, fun fact, even though we're here recording in California, we are close. We are actually local to each other back home in Texas. I think it's funny that it took us coming to California for us to lock in a podcast recording.
Yes.
But I am so grateful. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I love what you're doing with this, and it's just a pleasure to be invited. So.
Aww, you're so sweet. Okay, before we dive into questions about you and your books, what I usually like to do with all of my guests when we have more time, I ask what we are reading, watching, and listening to. But to condense that down so that we can optimize our shorter amount of time, please tell me, what is your current hyperfixation right now?
Oh, Wingspan.
Wingspan? Do share.
Okay, I'm a board game nerd.
Okay, yes.
For sure.
Love.
It's a competitive strategy engine building board game with cards, all about birds. I love it. I've played every day for probably 3 or 4 years now because they have a Switch version of it.
Oh.
Yes. And so I have an idea in the works, a rom-com involving competitive board gamers, but
I would read it immediately. If you need an ARC, alpha, beta reader, whatever reader, I'm here.
Thank you. I might have to send you my chapters as I write it just to motivate me to keep going. But yeah, so I love board games, and that is my favorite board game. And it is just, it's always challenging, never the same because there's so many different strategies you can take. And yeah, that's my the first thing that came to mind when you asked that, because I am just obsessed with it.
I love that it's also not just a current hyperfixation. It's something that you've been implementing into your life for 3 years or something?
Yes, my closest friend, I play with her every day. I even brought my Switch here and text her. She's back in St. Louis. I was like, Emily, I brought my birding device. I don't know if our time zones are going to align, but if you're around.
That's so fun.
Yes,
I love that.
She indulges me.
I've also never heard of that game.
Okay.
I'm going to have to look it up.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's such a niche thing to enjoy, especially as a board game, with birds. That's so cool.
I've become I've been taking pictures of the birds here all day, even because they're so different from the Texas birds. They're ocean birds. And I'm just noticing. It makes you notice the world around you a little more, just because you are familiar with what they look like and what their names are and which kind of habitats they live in. And yes, my family makes fun of me because I could probably tell you, in the game, all the bird powers and everything specific. I have them all memorized. But yes, after so many years, I'm not tired of it.
That's so cool, though. I mean, I would love to find a hobby that I don't tire of.
Okay, I'm going to introduce you to this. I'm tempted to buy this for you now.
I love a board game. My husband and I, we haven't had many board game nights as of late.
Yeah.
But when we find a board game we like, it's over. I had this huge obsession with Clue for a season of my life. Oh my gosh.
Me too.
I love Clue.
love it too.
Any kind of media or storytelling that is Clue-esque.
Yes.
I'm sat.
I have a book recommendation for you then.
Let's hear it.
Okay. I don't know if you've read You Are Fatally Invited by Andy Pliego.
Yes, I've seen you. Okay, so I haven't read it, but I've seen you talk about this before.
So good.
And
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No word. You must read it if you like Clue.
Yes, I love.
It's like Glass Onion meets Clue.
Done immediately. Any Knives Out franchise creation. That's for me. I am the target audience of that. So kind of what I was saying earlier, you and I are actually friends in real life, which is so special. I'm going into a short story time here because I have to brag on her. So the first time that I actually met you was, it's so funny that we keep having like these really like impactful, sentimental interactions, not on our home turf.
Right.
Because I had actually met you at a tour stop when you were on tour for the Lodge.
Yes.
You were in conversation with Joe Segura and Allie Hazelwood. First of all, what an elite combo.
It was so much fun.
But yeah, it was in Georgetown, so like just outside of Austin.
And the snowstorm was about to
I
hit
was
the next
just
day.
about to say, we outran a snowstorm. We did a turn and burn. Me and my friend Emma came down to
Yes.
see you and the other authors. And then it was so funny because you were like talking about the Lodge. And then as soon as we got back, it was just the most picturesque Texas snowstorm. Asterisk on the Texas because like we don't get snow and like
Right.
there are plenty of other pretty snowstorms in other states. But like it felt like the most like wonderful, unintentional like
Marketing scheme.
Yes.
Yes, I conjured that.
Yeah.
And I planned my book tour stops around it.
Exactly. But we had met and we realized that we were local to each other. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is serendipitous. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And then you were an absolute sweetheart. And you were like, do you guys want to get breakfast sometime?
And
I
we did
was
get
like,
breakfast. And it was so
yes.
fun.
And the whole way driving to breakfast that day in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to have breakfast with a traditionally
Stop it.
published author. Mind you, I either had just started querying or I was about to query
remember
something like
that.
that. And so baby author me was like, oh my gosh, I'm shaking in my boots.
Oh.
And you were just the nicest soul ever. You were also like one of the first authors
you.
that I met that I was like, oh my gosh, they are actually like in the most wonderful way. They are normal people.
Oh.
I don't have to be
Thank you,
like
yeah.
scared and intimidated by them.
That's
it was
the biggest
just
compliment, I feel like, because I
Yeah.
really am like, first of all, I have no shame. I will go up and say hi to anybody.
And we need that.
Like, whether they are published or not published, I feel like everybody's on equal turf. And
Yeah.
I guess that works both ways. I like it when people feel the same about me. And so I'm glad that I could be a safe space for you while you were
Yeah.
just about to start querying. Like, I remember that conversation, and it's so fun to see, like, all this changed in a year, because that was about a year
Yeah.
ago for you even, because you're represented now and like you've had the joy of going on sub. And,
I'm still having the joy of going on
yes.
sub.
My first book did not sell after a really successful querying situation, and it was pretty heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
I actually just printed that book out the other day. I was like, maybe I should read it again and
Yeah.
see like if I can update it for like 12 years later, me.
Yeah, I know there's a manuscript I have, totally different genre. It's more like dystopian-esque because I was
Yeah.
so in my dystopia reading bag,
Yes.
the 2010s, the heyday of dystopia. But I remember like I wrote this one book all through high school, and I think about it now because it's been over 10 years since I wrote that book, and I was like, maybe I should just open it up, blow the dust off of
Yes.
the pages and just like
Yeah.
go down memory lane and
Did you
see
do
if
it?
there's I partially did it, and I was like, listen, this book, I'm putting this out there. One of these days I'm going to clip this video when I actually do publish it and it goes everywhere or whatever.
Yes.
I'm going to put it out there. I know that book has major potential. It does. It just needs some reworking because I was a teenager and balancing high school and
Yeah.
my body was still changing and I was losing my ever-loving mind. I thought the world was crashing
It
down
was
on
an
me.
outlet for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That book saved my life and saved my
Oh, I
sanity,
love
truthfully.
that.
But I mean, it has room to do something, but I do want to read it in like its raw form.
Yes.
So speaking of writing really sentimental, wonderful books, you write such perfect escapist rom-coms. What specifically inspired The Great Outdoors compared to the
Yes.
inspiration you found for your other rom-coms?
Yeah, that's a great question. So my first two rom-coms are celebrity-ish, and The Great Outdoors is more of a normal girl. So the idea for it, short pitch for that is basically if Elle Woods found herself on a hiking trip, basically. So a chronic overpacker, high maintenance girl gets broken up with, signs herself up for a 2-week-long trip in the wilderness and can only bring a backpack. And then falls for her hiking guide. So this came about while I was at a tennis lesson, and my coach, coming to the tennis court, I had my tennis backpack. I had my writing tote bag. I had a whole lunch bag. And then I think I had another tote bag, like a duffel bag with like a change of clothes. I had a really long day that day, but I had like 4 bags with me just to come to tennis on the other side of town. And my coach, he said, I would love to see you go on a backpacking trip, a camping trip where you can't pick the food that you want to eat, because he knows I'm picky also. And you can only pack what fits in your backpack. And I said, that sounds like my nightmare. Yeah. And I need to write a book about that. And and I did. And I honestly think that my editor, I think she chose this book because we submitted 2 different projects to my editor. And I honestly think that my experience with them at Book Bonanza, they saw firsthand what an overpacker I am. Even my editor even mentioned this, like in our publicity and marketing call, she brought up Book Bonanza, like all the stuff I brought, including like my pour over setup, my coffee. The steam in my kettle set off like the smoke alarm in my room at the Gaylord.
No,
I was mortified. And somebody came and like knocked on my door. I was like, oh my gosh, am I in trouble? Note to self, don't put a kettle right under a smoke detector.
I will say that I will die on the hill of overpacking is always the better option instead of underpacking. Because like the worst part is that if you underpack and you have to go buy yourself other clothes, you're like, I have so many clothes at home. I'm never going to wear this again, but I need clothes.
Yes. And I don't know about you, but I like my clothes. I'm like, I want to build I want to bring the things that I'm comfortable in. I know I like, and same with hair products, same with snacks, same with coffee. So I'm a little particular, but, as Sadie would say, she just knows what she likes.
Yes. So. Like, God forbid I want to curate my every single move.
Right.
Speaking of Sadie, something I love about her is that she is high maintenance. I've recently been watching Friends. I'm always watching Friends, but I love like Monica's character, especially when when she and Chandler get together, because there's even this one line where he's like, you are high maintenance, but it's okay because I love maintaining you. And it's one of the most tender lines in the entire series, which I love them. But I really like that this personality profile of hers is like not only the catalyst of the story, but like it really plays this like deeper impact. Why, like, what made you want to give your character that sort of quality?
It started off just surface level. This would be my nightmare. Ha ha. This would be like a funny juxtaposition of like putting this girl fish out of water in this situation. But as I wrote it, I was like, there's so much depth here to mine, because when it comes down to it, I think so much about overpacking and being high maintenance. In my own life, it's a way to control your circumstances and to control your anxiety and say, I want to be prepared for everything so I don't have to be uncomfortable. And going to that deeper level and making her uncomfortable, I think was really fun for me, like to bring out these things that were challenging for her, and have her push through even when it was really hard or uncomfortable. Things that she did not enjoy, but was like determined to survive, I guess, and even like thrive doing. And so, it was fun to peel back the layers there of just like somebody who doesn't consider herself to be a risk taker, and then to pair her with a hiking guide who his job is inherently risky, but he's kind of trapped in it's his comfort zone. Like a risky area is his comfort zone. So the two of them together, I felt like were dealing with some very interesting, just like, both of their emotional arcs have to do with taking risks, but in totally different ways. Yeah. So, so it started off as just surface level. I want to bring my coffee and my silk pajamas, but really just kind of was every draft. I felt like I got a chance to go deeper and deeper with her. And, it's not till later that you realize how much of yourself that you put into this book sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't realize how much of my own just like fear and anxiety and control issues that like, I was like, oh, that's why those manifest, you know?
Yeah.
And even with Thorn, like this is my first time writing a dual perspective book. And, it was really, I fought so hard for his perspective to stay in the book.
Yeah.
But then also to be what it was. And I almost relate more to him than I do to Sadie, because he has just a huge like friendship arc and kind of almost a loneliness arc to him. And there have just been periods in my life where I've experienced that, and like friend breakups and whatnot. And so it was interesting to just to dive into those character aspects of him as well. So, and find ways where they had common ground, even though they're such opposite characters.
Yeah. And also, this is so random, but like reading the blurb and finding out that his name is August Thorne, both of his names just, it does something for me.
Oh, thank you.
You do such a great job at naming your characters.
Thank you.
Because listen, respectfully, there are plenty of books out there with some wacky names. Okay.
you.
But all the ones that you come up with, I'm like, yes,
This
I
is
am in their
so
head.
Heartening to hear, because one time I got tagged in a story by somebody who was like, I'm starting the reunion this weekend. And then like 2 days later, she made a post, you know, and I follow people. It goes back to the whole, like, we're all on equal footing. If I think you have a nice Instagram, I'll follow it. You know, if you're friendly, I'll follow you, you know? So I don't think she realized I could see her post. But the whole post was about like, why do authors always have to name their love interests such weird names? And then the caption,
Because we can't name our kids that. We have to put them on a birth
Well,
certificate.
it's like there's so many characters named Jack and so many characters named Matt, you know, and like they're all the same. But no shade, but I was like, for me, I wanted to feel like I was writing somebody different.
Yeah.
But her caption in the very first line was like, Ransom. The name is Ransom. I was like, that's mine? And I know you. Okay.
I don't understand the hate on the name Ransom personally. That had been in my baby names list for a good 5 years.
I think there's a Knives Out character named Ransom as well, isn't it?
I think is it Chris Evans's character?
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So it was around that time, and then it also people always ask where the name came from. It was like that combined with Taylor Swift's song "Holding Me for Ransom." Some boys are trying too hard. So,
any kind of Taylor Swift callback in any way, I'm here for it. It's approved. I will defend it with my life.
But thank you. That makes me feel validated for choosing not quite normal names.
No, I can get on board with the wacky names too, but sometimes in contemporary romance, it's hard to wrap my mind around the fact that somebody in real life is actually named insert name here. So
Right.
But something that I love about you, not just in a book context, but you're always so open and vocal about like all of the jobs that you had before like writing took off for you and it became your full-time career.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing a little bit more about your journey for our listeners that may not be familiar with you?
Yes. So, man, so going back to college, I was an international studies major. I thought I might want to move overseas and do like missionary work or like join, you know, Habitats for Humanity or like social work of some sort. And then eventually, like halfway through college, I was like, I don't think I want to live overseas forever. I think I want to work here because my family's here. And so it kind of threw a wrench in all my plans. And I was too far into the international studies major to be like, you know, well, what do? I don't know a language well enough to be a translator because I studied Spanish forever, but spent like 2 summers in China. And so like my Mandarin was messing with my Spanish and I didn't know either of them well enough to like translate. And then, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to work in Washington. That's not really me. I don't know. I don't feel like that's my world. And so when I graduated, I had a hard time knowing what I wanted to do. And so I ended up taking a series of customer service jobs. I first worked at Chick-fil-A. I gave out so many chicken biscuits and I ate so many chicken biscuits. And Loved my coworkers, absolutely love them. One day, the manager of the Bank of America that was across the street came through the drive-thru, and he poached me to come work at Bank of America.
And what a compliment that is to get poached.
Well, thank you. And I worked there. I was the drive-thru girl there for like 2 years, but ended up hating it because that manager quit, and we got a worse one that wanted me to be like, welcome to Bank of America. My name's Kayla. How may I exceed your expectations today? And like, that's a setup for like, give me all your money,
Yeah.
And it was a small town and all these people came in every day, and I did it to one person and he laughed at me.
Oh.
And like in a camaraderie way.
Oh, okay. I was
He's
like, if somebody laughed at me while I'm doing my best customer service voice, I think I would actually cry in the break room.
That I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And after I was like, thank you. It sounds as stupid as it feels as stupid as it sounds.
Yeah.
So I got married around that time, and we had great advice from our premarital counselors who were just like, base your budget on one person's income, and that way if one of you gets sick or you don't want to work like while you're pregnant, that way you won't be in a financial bind. And so I took that. I was like, okay, I'm quitting because I hate this job right now.
Yeah.
Quit that. We lived in the tiniest 1-bedroom apartment for so long, based it on like our very brand new marriage. We were just like scraping by. I was a regular at Starbucks for a long time, and the manager there had just interviewed somebody else, and the person left, and then the manager turned to me and she was like, do you want a job? And she said, you're in here all the time. You'd get free coffee. I said, well, I can't work nights. I can't work Sundays, and I can't work holidays. And she's like, okay.
Wow.
So I ended up working there for like 1.5 years or 2 years, and was also the drive-thru girl there. And really, in like the common thread between all 3 of these places is that I tried to do all these jobs to the very best of my ability, because I felt like it was important work to like, even if you're only in somebody's life like for 30 seconds of their day, like, I don't know, we've all been on the other side of bad customer service, but hopefully we've all also been on the other side of really good customer service. Mm-hmm. And like, you might be having a terrible day, and somebody being super nice to you can really turn it around.
It does.
And so, yeah, I took that really seriously, but it was also very draining. And cause I just got tired. Like, somebody once threw a mocha at my friend in the window, because he had the nerve to charge her for syrup. 60 extra cents, somebody poured a mocha or a latte like out on the desk in front of us because they were mad about how much it cost, things like that. They just wear on you. And so I was just very tired for a long time, and I started feeling like the customer service jobs were just a little bit never ending, and while valuable, like I felt like I had important role there, both with my coworkers and with my customers. There was this creative side of me that just felt unfulfilled. And so I started thinking, I was like, I am an introvert at heart, even though I'm very like, I will say hi to anybody. I'm very comfortable with people, but I recharge alone. Yeah. And so I don't mind like sitting at my desk all day alone with my coffee. And I'm very analytical. I'm very empathetic. And I love puzzles. And so all these things together, we were watching Lost at the time. And I was like, I want to write something that feels big and with characters and like cliffhangers and just a big world that feels like Lost. Yeah, I started writing while I was at Starbucks. And eventually it kind of got to the point where my coworkers, since I had just taken that job on just as an extra fun bonus, and my coworkers really started needing the extra hours because they were cutting back. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like step back from this and actually try to make writing happen. Yeah. And that was my last official job. And so the decision we made years before to just base on one person's income like really helped, because it wasn't us losing much, Yeah. It was just, it allowed me to really pursue my creative dreams. And it wasn't for years. Gosh, that was 2009 probably when I quit. And I didn't get my first book deal till 2015. And the book itself didn't come out till 2017. And so, it was a long time working before I ever saw any money from it. So yeah, publication money is unpredictable and nothing to like write home about a lot of times. But, I think I was only able to do that just because we started from the beginning, just like living very frugally. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't miss working in customer service.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'm thankful for my time there, and I have put my international studies degree. I feel like it really has made me better at like world building. I specifically call back to one of my political science classes of comparative politics because we studied like Japan, Germany, Mexico, and I think the US, and just like I remember my teacher just talking about like these tiny subtle shifts, like things that you wouldn't necessarily think have a big impact, but like I don't even remember now what they were specifically, but I just remember thinking this is incredible, just like how one tiny thing can like affect things for good but also bad and like have a broad impact. And so when I was writing The Sandcastle Empire, which became my debut, it was set in the future. And so all my technology, I wanted to like think, how has this technology helped the world and how has it hurt the world? And so just tried to bring all that into to the book, and try to make the world feel really well fleshed out. So I think that my degree kind of came back around, but I still don't see myself ever using it in a job capacity.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love that. It's like a little invisible string.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think I've talked about all that in a long time, maybe one podcast years ago, but no, people don't ask about my customer service jobs many
You had to live it, so I thought I would shed some light on it.
Thank you. That was fun.
It is no easy feat. Okay, to kind of tie our episode to a close, I want to play a quick game of this or that with you.
Okay.
Hopefully it kind of brings in some of all of your books in a way. So, beaches or mountains?
Beaches. Oh, but I love to look at the mountains. I get altitude sickness, and so if we take that out of the equation, they'd be very equal.
Okay.
Watching the Olympics right now, I'm like, I want to go there. I want to go there too. I want to go everywhere. But if I could just look at the mountains without getting sick.
Okay. Soft pretzels or hot cocoa?
Hot cocoa. Yes. I want some right now.
I was like, that first little hot cocoa bit, I was like, that doesn't sound very definitive.
Yeah, I'll take them both.
I was like, you can take the hot cocoa and I will take the soft pretzel.
I love this.
Draft messy or draft clean?
Draft clean.
Girl,
to a fault.
same. Yes.
Yes.
It takes us way too long to finish a first draft.
It's so hard. And especially because like after having multiple books now go through multiple drafts to the point where like I've done 7 drafts on this and now I have to be so nitpicky. Like each of my books with Atria, I had to do like 3 rounds of past pages, which is like the final round where it's all printed out. And I thought I was done. And even just a few weeks ago, here's more proofreader questions. Well, thank you. Thank you for being
lovely.
thorough.
Thank you.
But so to go from being that nitpicky to like drafting, it's really hard for me to let myself be messy. And so it's a discipline to remind myself, like, it's good to just get words down.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm sorry that you were also cursed with it.
I am. My sweet agent, God bless her. Until I land my book deal, she's essentially doing all of this work pro bono. Because I'm like, it should be criminal that you have to look at my messy drafts.
I think that's a sign of a great agent. My agents are the same way. And like when they take on a person and not just a project. I think that shows integrity, that they really believe in you, and like that they're not just about like a fast, easy sale, and that they see worth in you as a person and a creator and not just what you create. So
like, yes, the book industry, there's a lot of like financial mindsets going into it, but like there truly is this like relational devotion when it comes, especially for newer agents, when they truly like don't really have a leg to stand on. They're just now trying to make a name for themselves. They're probably also juggling another job until agenting makes them money. Like Shout out to my agent, Brooke, if you're
Yes.
listening to this. I love you.
miss
Thank
you,
you for
Brooke.
taking me out of the trenches. I love you. Because the trenches
love
are
it.
terrible. Okay, back to this or that. Hiking or skiing?
I feel like hiking is the more practical answer for me because as a tennis player, like I'm afraid of ruining my knees.
Oh, that's a good point.
And also add in the altitude sickness.
Yeah.
But I want to go skiing. I've been watching these people and
Oh, the
like,
Winter Olympics makes me feel like I could do anything.
my toxic trait the other day, I saw the commercial with like the speed skater and I told Andrew, I was like, I could do that.
Yeah. Oh,
can't
absolutely.
run. I can't run. He's like, I think you have to have really strong thighs. I was like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
I have strong thighs.
Say it to my face.
No, I could not be that fast, but it looks fun.
Yeah.
I would be like on the bunny slope skiing. I don't want to run into a tree though.
Okay. Outer space or uncharted ocean?
Uncharted ocean.
Really?
Hands down.
Huh. Okay.
Easy. Hands down. I'm a cruise girl.
Fair. Yeah.
Give me Disney cruise ship. I
Yeah.
guess that's charted ocean, but I like that better than the idea of like at least you can breathe when you're
Yeah.
near the ocean.
Yeah. True. It's not like your ability to breathe is dependent on like the
Yes.
elasticity,
Yeah.
the integrity of like all these chords. New York or LA?
LA.
Good choice. Especially because we're here in San Diego. I'm like,
Yes.
California, yes.
Yes.
And then last but certainly not least, boy bands or pop princesses?
Boy bands. No. I'm like feeling like the two eras of my life are just like warring because I'm definitely a Taylor Swift girl.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a huge boy band girl. Like, and I think foundationally, it's probably truest to my core to say boy band.
Yeah.
Although I did grow up on Mariah Carey as well.
Ooh.
So she's the original pop princess to me. Yes. Ugh. Yep. I
Good
love them both.
selections.
Mariah Carey. I loved Hanson. I loved NSYNC, obviously.
Yep.
Backstreet Boys. Yeah. So
Awesome. Okay, for those of you that are watching this episode, we are currently at Love LitCon, but by the time you see this, we will not be at Love LitCon. So tell our listeners where they can find you online if you have any events coming up that they might be able to go to, all the things.
So my next book, The Great Outdoors, comes out in June. We will be doing a book tour. As of right now, we haven't announced it, but probably by the time this comes out, we will have. So check my social media or my website for the latest updates. I'm at author Kayla Olson, and Olson is spelled O-N at the end, not like the Olsen twins. Although I love Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Love them.
Love them. Would be honored to share an E with their last name.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then my website's just KaylaOlson.com. So either one of those places will have the latest. So.
Love it. Yeah. Okay, there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talk Wordy. And again, my thanks to Kayla for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
This has been so special.
Yes.
Don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram at Talk Wordy Pod, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, you guys.